Okay, we've got to talk about the secret private presentation that David Grusch gave to a select few. So let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, per Roswell incident, has anyone seen this? A post on Reddit with pictures says I actually went to a private 60-person presentation with David Grusch as the speaker. New details are supposedly revealed. Dennis Cornsot says the event was real. I was invited and subsequently uninvited due to too many people RSVPing and security concerns. Their rules for attendance include no pictures, so I assume the Redditor deleted their post to stay in their good graces. Roswell says, looks like the cat's out of the bag, thanks to them. And unfortunately, the poster deleted their account. They didn't just delete the post, they deleted their entire account after posting this information. And so I don't have that actual thread because their account has been posted, but the information was saved. And this is from the Roswell incident again. All right, so let's get into what David Grusch said during this presentation. And of course, this is a picture from the presentation, and there you can see Dave sporting his new beard, looking sharp over there. So what did he say? He also mentioned a few other things that I haven't heard him say before, like that he was told about a U.A.P. that was in our possession that had a diameter of around 40 feet, but once you went inside, it was the size of a football field. Now, we've heard about this UFO before and other similar UFOs that are bigger on the inside than on the outside. But coming from David Grusch, that's pretty cool. And so will we ever get to see this amazing thing? I can't wait. I can't wait. It reminds me of the Terry Lovelace incident where he saw a UFO that was, I think it was the size of a Walmart on the outside. So it was already a giant UFO, but once he got inside, it was super massive, even bigger than a Walmart. So crazy how big these things can get. And I would imagine, how big it looks on the outside might correspond to how much bigger it looks on the inside. If it looks like a Walmart on the inside, could it be the size of several football stadiums on the inside? But if it's only 40 feet, maybe it can only be one football field. I don't know. I don't know if my understanding of physics has any bearing on what we're talking about. But moving on. Dave says he also mentioned that the U.S. has taken part in a fair amount of crash retrievals before 1933. Also, that we wouldn't be surprised by what the NHI looked like, such as they look like the typical gray, and they aren't sure where these beings have come from. He also mentioned that he had recently been informed that a U.S. adversary was considering full disclosure to get ahead of the U.S., and that he passed this information along to the U.S. government. Some asked him about this, and what he said was that he was part of an extremely secret program that had figured out how to track and find UAPs in our atmosphere in near-Earth orbit. What? He said his op-ed will include much more details regarding this. Interestingly, he also mentioned how many people know the full scope of the phenomenon to be no more than 50 people, but it wasn't clear whether this meant 50 people currently alive or 50 people ever in history. So that's amazing. That's incredible. Who am I to dispute David Grusch? But nevertheless, I am going to dispute David Grusch. Richard Dolan calls it the breakaway civilization. That's what he refers to the control group as the breakaway civilization, implying something that is quite large. And from my own research, some of which I've shared with you guys, that's what I'm seeing as well, is that the UFO control group is quite large. It's super massive. It's amazing they are able to keep a lid on this being as big as it is. But they have been. And so I believe it's way more than 50 people. But hey, maybe there are only 50 people in the upper levels of the program. And by upper, I mean closer to the surface, the shallower parts of it. The deep stuff is big, and who knows what the hell is going on there? They're working with aliens. They're flying around in giant UFOs. They're helping in abductions. I mean, it's a robust operation, whatever the hell they're doing, and it's more than 50 people. But in the upper, shallower levels, I can imagine there's only 50 people that really know, the score, as much as they do. So anyway, whatever. That's really interesting, and there's a little bit more because expounding upon what he's going to give us in the op-ed in a recent News Nation interview. He had this to say.
Not my firsthand knowledge until recently. I got some other security approvals through the pre-publication and security review process, and I did have some firsthand knowledge of some specific parts of the program. I'm currently drafting an op-ed that I'm going to release in a few weeks, and I will be discussing what I actually do know firsthand. I just could not overtly discuss that at the time, including at the hearing, because the Pentagon and the IC were sitting on some of my pre-publication and review paperwork at the time, so I could not acknowledge that.
When you say you have firsthand knowledge, you actually saw something yourself?
Well, the deeper description of what I know has been redacted. They proposed a redaction in a pre-publication and security review response a few days ago, and they're telling me to withhold legally some of the firsthand knowledge I have, but I'm allowed to generally discuss that I was read into a UAP-related program directly by the U.S. government.
Dave Grusch was read into a program. Now, I, suspect that that's about to do with the satellites and about tracking these objects coming and going from our atmosphere. But that's just my assumption. I guess we'll find out in the op-ed. But let me know what you guys think. Are you as excited about this coming op-ed as I am? We're going to find out some juicy details about David Grusch and what he was personally involved in and what he personally witnessed. Now, of course, we're probably still not going to get the full Monty, but we're going to get more Monty. I'm not going to get any more graphic than that. I'm totally excited for this coming op-ed. And to find out more about this program that may have been tracking UFOs, and also any other information he can share. I want to know more about that UFO that was bigger on the inside than the outside. Did he get to see it? Are we going to get witnesses and participants in those programs, the reverse engineering programs and crash retrieval programs that did see it and were able to go inside? And if those witnesses are cleared to speak, will they be able to show the evidence? It's exciting times ahead. It's frustrating to know that this is, sitting at, Lockheed Martin or Area 51 and not being able to get access to it. I want to go in that damn UFO and see what that is like. I'm a big fan of Doctor Who. TARDIS is bigger on the inside, on the outside. Well, that looks great on TV. What does it feel like to actually go in that thing? Does it make you nauseous? Does it give you vertigo? What is that like? What is that experience like? I would love to find out. Even if it makes me sick, I want to know. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, thumbs up, like, subscribe, smash. Check me out on social media. Buy a t-shirt, merch store below. Become a channel member. Channel members really are rock stars, and I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you. Also, channel members frequently get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel. I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with the Cosmic Road signing out.